Welcome. This is my market update video. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin as always, but I'm trying a different format. So I will start with my Twitter because I'm a writer, so I really like writing. And I published already part of my work with my Twitter account. Mainly what I do is Stoic philosophy, and I'm a philosopher. I consider myself firstly to be a philosopher, secondly an analyst and trader, and last I'm a pianist. So we're not going to talk about my piano because you can listen to me if you want, but that's not the topic today. But I want to start today with my Twitter account. So I'm going to read a couple of tweets, and then we look at price. Once we look at price, as always, mainly we'll talk about Elliott wave, but not just Elliott wave, because Elliott wave only goes as far. And right now, I can't say with Elliott wave where the bottom will be, and when the corrected move stops and we start an impulse wave. I can't tell you if I look only at Elliott wave. But I have a new indicator, which you will see very soon. And that gives you a great trend line. And that trend line should help us pinpoint the new impulse wave. So I'm going to talk about that. But first, I want to be taking a look at my Twitter account. If you do not follow me at my Twitter account, you should, because it's very interesting. I don't put up any BS, and you should like it. I mean, if you follow me already, you probably really will like my Twitter account. It's my most popular thing. I had like 20K likes on there. Oh no, I don't remember the name. You can look it up. Anyways, I had a lot of likes. A lot of people looked at it, and I find it very interesting. So we're going to start with my Twitter, and then we go into the charts. It should be quite long. So if you want to jump, for example, my Twitter, you just can, and you come into the charts. You'll see when I talk about the charts, because the charts are showing up. So you can scroll and jump if you don't want to listen to my tweets. But let's start with that, and I will comment my tweets also, because the tweet is very short, and here on air I can do more. I can be more precise. So let's share my screen, and then we'll go into my Twitter. So as always, just please go to my website and read the disclaimer, so you know about the risks involved in trading. And my website is in French, German, and English, just as my Twitter. So you can read it according to your main language. Okay, once you have done that, now that I have told you that, we're going to take a look at my Twitter. So that's my Twitter, that's me, and somewhat Bitcoin logo, even if the colors used are mainly not blue, but yellow, but it's the same thing. And my name and some information. My first tweet, my pinned tweet, is about my website. So if you don't know, you can click here to go on my website. That's the English version of my website. But of course, you will find the French and German version also. All my tweets are translated into German, French, and English. So here I'm going to talk only about the English version, since I do this in English. Okay, my first tweet is my last tweet. We start with the last tweet. I'll do a couple of tweets, and then I jump into the charts as soon as I feel like it. So my first tweet is a reply to Willy Woo. And my reply says, Bitcoin transaction volume should exceed the internet in 2020. Today, by that I mean last year, 2019 transaction volume of the internet was 4.1 trillion and Bitcoin was 3.8 billion. And since we are close to the transaction volume of the internet, I'll expect it next year it should be higher in 2020. And that's quite bullish. It should give us the fuel to go to new all-time highs. So that's the bullish scenario. Not interested in that. Here we have my second tweet. So my second tweet was on the capitalism. These technologies are generally only developed by the elite that have access to cheap capital, which then is protected by monopoly via patents and copyright. This is horrible for innovation. A resource-based economy fixes this. So it's actually, I'm paraphrasing Jimmy Song. He did a different tweet and he only blames the fiat system. Well, I think that's a mistake. You should not just be blaming the fiat system, because the real issue is capitalism. I mean, poverty, one of the last tweets I saw is 60%, according to someone I follow. It's worse than that. One out of two people lives with nothing, like $2 a day. Try to pay your internet, your electric bills, your housing, and send your kids, your healthcare, and send your kid into school with $2 a day. Good luck to you. So, I mean, it's a catastrophe. So, according to me, the issue is capitalism and not just a fiat system. Fiat system is the tip of the iceberg, but the whole system is obsolete. One of the last documentaries I watched was the one with Jacques Fresco, last documentary. I didn't tweet about it, but I should have, probably. I didn't like it too much because it's the documentary brings nothing new to the table, and I didn't click for it, so that's why I didn't tweet about it. But still, it's interesting to always listen to Jacques Fresco. And Jacques Fresco was asked, that's the only interesting part, only new part ever I've got out of the documentary. Jacques Fresco was asked, what have we done right until now? And Jacques Fresco answered, until now, nothing. So and I share his point of view. It's just primitive. We are still living in an extreme primitive way. I mean, there's war, there's poverty, there's all the BS our politicians put out non-stop. There's our obsolete education system that gets better thanks to the internet, but it has nothing to do with our teachers or university. So it's just we're hitting a wall. It's like if you want, in the human evolution, there are steps we take, okay? And we are hitting a step wall. And it's very hard for us to get out of the monetary system, out of the obsolete system we live under. So the solution is a resource-based economy. I think I'll show you that in one of my next tweets. And I'm criticizing not just the fiat system, as does Jimmy Song. I mean, it's very naive. Let's be sincere. Jimmy Song, if you listen to me, it's very naive saying, oh, the fiat system is so bad. Once we have Bitcoin, everything is better. Bitcoin is much better than fiat money. That's for sure. I'm not saying the opposite. I'm a Bitcoin maximalist, so I believe in that. But you have to go beyond that. You have to change the entire paradigm if you want that things are any better than they are right now. So I hope that will be the case very soon, because I don't want to live in a world where there's such a huge amount of suffering. I don't want to suffer, and I don't want to see my children or my wife suffer, or my neighbors or anybody else on this world, because it's just there's no reason for it. We can go beyond that. We can all live according to our nature. We can all live according to our needs, and those needs can be met easily as soon as we change system, as soon as we go to a research-based economy. So I think I'll show you a picture of a research-based economy in the next weeks. I'm not sure about it, but I think. Then I gave you some wishes for the new year and put this picture up. My wish was the following one. It is the end of a decade. I think that the next will profoundly change the role that man occupies because of the resulting automation and obsolescence of work. So obsolescence of work is the result of automation. And so I think that the next decade will show you that drastically. I expect a lot of people to lose their nonsense job, and things should get very tough during the next decade because we can just automate hugely and everything you know of. So there will be a lot of change, and that's my my look into the next decade. And I wish you a happy new year to all of you. And thank you, of course, for following me and being there. It's very nice to share stuff. Once this channel grows, I'll try to put the chat on. I'm not promising it because I don't like trolls. I don't like BS, and I don't like you pumping your icons and all that stuff. But if you can manage to some basic rules of respect and don't use it to spam, to pump your bags. I do not pump my bag. I give you my honest opinion about Bitcoin, but I do not try to pump Bitcoin. It would not change anything. You have no idea how a market works if you think that one tiny video that nobody watches has an impact, or one chart that nobody watches. But as soon as this channel has grown a bit, and if you are up to it, I mean, if you just make fun, if you just use the time to insult me or my followers or pump your bugs, it won't fly. But if you show some respect, minimum amount of respect to your host, then I'll try to put the chat in it and I make a live stream. But until then, until that happens, the channel still has to grow a little. Right now, there's no point putting a chat in there because it would be empty. Anyways, that was my New Year's outlook. And now let's go to the next tweet. Let's see what the next tweet is. I still make a couple, and when I'm tired of reading my tweets, we'll jump into something else. I hope you endure in peace the place where you live. Unfortunately, it's the same paradigm everywhere, which makes it so hard to endure. Here's what statistics say about it. So now we'll take a look at the statistics. It's a retweet that I found interesting, and that was my tweet about it. So the thing is, as always, you can go wherever you want. China, Africa, Europe, the US, Canada, Australia, you will find everywhere the same thing, a monetary system and capitalism. And if you like that, very well for you. It's not really my task of coffee. I'll look at the chart because I have to make some money. I'll trade because I have to, because again, I have to make some money, but I know that it's not the solution for humanity. And I know it makes us not any better. I'm much more proud about my Stoic book that I will publish soon. I hope, at least. I still have to look for a publisher and have somebody that proofread it. So there's still a lot of work to do, and I'm still writing Stoic philosophy. So, but anyways, that will help you much more because it addresses your soul. the market only takes part of external things. And most people consult me because of external things. But the real important thing, the thing that makes you happy or sad, that thing that tells you how to live is philosophy. So philosophy is much more important. And my tweets are a glimpse about my philosophy, but it's not stoicism in itself. Because, well, I could publish that, but I prefer to put it in a book that you can read, which is the best format for philosophy, in my opinion. So the best place is Switzerland and Singapore, Canada, Spain, Australia, Turkey. Turkey is very high for living, unbelievable. Germany, United Arab Emirates, Ireland, Malaysia, France, and so on. So I hope you are not at the bottom of that list. And even if you are, I hope that you are happy wherever you live. Next tweet. So here's my next tweet. It's an reply to Plan B. And I say, no, it will not. Well, let's maybe start off his tweet so you get an idea why I answer that to Plan B. Language and money are crucial for human cooperation. Better money leads to more cooperation, more trade, more specialization, better investment. Bitcoin is better money, P2P digital gold without trusted third parties, without debasement. Bitcoin will bring the next renaissance. So here you have one more guy who is pumping the price, and he is not wrong. I mean, yes, we had shells, then we went to gold, and yes, then we went to gold coin and notes, then bank account and credit cards, and now we have Bitcoin. That's perfectly true, and I'm not opposing that view. I share that view. It's I mean, that's the case. And I hope that Bitcoin is the new form of money that we will get. For that, the crowd has to follow. Who knows if that happens? I think it's in the charts, but we have to see. Price, if that happens, price will go to 100,000, 1 million. But I'm not sure that. I mean, it's a speculation. You speculate that happens. It should happen, but maybe it won't. Maybe people are happy just with their bank notes and their bank account and the credit notes and so on, and the credit cards. Maybe they are just not interested in sound money. We'll see. I think it will happen, but we'll see. Well, my opposition to his tweet is that, again, it's a very naive thought, that you think that language and money are crucial for human cooperation. Better money leads to more cooperation, more trade, more speculation, better investment. So everything is better just because you have better money. Not really. Up to a certain degree, maybe, but it will not matter. It will not matter against automation. It will not matter against our real issues about poverty and unemployment. It just will not matter. I mean, people, if they are poor, they're poor. They don't care less if the money is good or bad. Of course, they prefer good money that does not devaluate. But I mean, if you cannot invest in Bitcoin, it makes no difference that it exists. So to me, this is a part of human evolution. It's chapter 1. And chapter 2 is if you exit the monetary system and go into a research-based economy. As long as you're in that, you're still primitive, according to me. Anyways, so my answer, no, it will not. You need more than money or language in order to evolve to the next higher degree. Bitcoin will make some people rich, most poor. Why? Because that's what a market does. That's what a market does. Bitcoin is traded as every other commodity. Is it better than the rest? Yes, it is. Yes, Bitcoin is better than fiat, but no, Bitcoin in itself will not solve all of our issues. That's totally naive to believe that. people go too much in trying to pump our bags, their bags, and just saying Bitcoin is the Santa Claus and everything will be hunky-dory just because we use Bitcoin. It's not the case. Of course, it's much better than using a fiat system. Of course, it's much better than being the slave of politicos and the other stuff, but it will not do. We need more than that in order to go higher. What we need is a resource-based economy, not just Bitcoin. But Bitcoin, until we get a resource-based economy, Bitcoin is a fair bet. It's a way to deal with the monetary system, but it's not the solution to our fundamentals issues, to the horrifying world we live in. Next, everything can be automated. Your job is gone. You simply don't know it yet. So that's a retweet to Peter Joseph, who did put up a great video about automation. It's just everything is automated into a part, and you should look at that clip, at that video to get my tweet. And here one more reply to Peter Joseph. Yes, we would be less violent if we had a cooperative system instead of a competitive system. And a cooperative system is, of course, an resource-based economy. The tweet of Peter Joseph was, Elliot1 said, why do humans view violence as a sport? And Alien2 answered, social-cultural. Currently, the entire society is predicted on competition for survival, so they pathologically emulate it in a public expression for validation. Actually, well, I think you get it. The first alien says, why is there so much violence? Second alien answers, look, the society is competitive and a struggle for survival, so violence is inherent in it. Isn't that sickness? Of course it is. And maybe we start with that last retweet of Peter Joseph. Peter Joseph said, insecure societies are the most intolerant of those who are non-joiners. They are so unsure of the validity of the game rules that they say everyone must play. So actually, that's what people always expect of me. They expect of me to be just as them, to shave very nicely, to look like them, to talk like them, to think like them, to say, oh, capitalism, I'm a capitalistic freedom lover, and all the BS you hear, and to vote for our politicians. They don't accept that people are outside of the box or think outside of the box. And that's the case for me. It always was the case. I never saw myself in the system. I hated school extremely. I love studying. I love reading stuff. I love intellectual stuff. I mean, it's an intellectual endeavor to survive in the market in itself. And I find it interesting reading the books, and I find it interesting trying to be the 1% that survives in the market. But I hated university because of the way things are taught. I hated every second of it. I hated every second of school because of the way people teach, because of the way they repeat stuff. And if you're outside of the box and if you look differently into stuff because you are philosophic, because you don't share the game most people play, then people are very uncomfortable about it. And here, that's a video you should watch. The guy explains that. And I answered, yes, not bad. And from a philosophical point of view, quite right. So what is quite right is that in secure societies, our society knows that it's wrong what they do. They feel it, even if they don't talk about it. They feel it, and they don't like when people stop playing the game. When you stop consuming, when you stop being in the box, when you stop believing in the nonsense they preach you all day long. So insecure societies are the most intolerant of those who are non-joiners. And I'm a non-joiner because I'm a philosopher, Stoic philosopher. And to tell you the truth, they hate you for it. They really do hate you for it. Okay, I think that's not bad for today. We covered some interesting tweets, in my opinion. Watch the 2 videos I talked about. And let's jump into charts. I can just, for you, show you a research-based economy, so you have an idea what it is. Let's Google it. So I'll Google the Venus project from Jack Fresco. Maybe I just threw Jack Fresco. And here, let's see the Venus project. So that's a research-based economy. And let's see, he's the inventor of the research-based economy. And a research-based economy, can we have some pictures? No. Well, that's not nice, because that's exactly what I wanted. Anyways, let's see if here he shows some pictures. I did not make the site, so that's a research-based economy. And do we get a view of the city? Do we get a view of the city? No, we don't. Okay, I don't see it here, so let's do it differently. I still want to show it to you, but maybe I can find the pictures if I put the Venus project, and then I'll go into pictures. Here you have a research-based economy. So that's how a city designed by Fresco would look like. And let's take anyone. Let's see if we get that in big. No, we don't. Of course, and just what I want to show you, I can't because they do not want to show it to me. Let's see if here we are more lucky. Okay, that will do. Okay, here you have the research-based economy. In the middle, you have the most important stuff. And everything is free of access. And you can live there either in an apartment or in a house. Everything will be created by robots and be at your disposal without a price tag. And nobody is excluded, and nobody is poor, and nobody will starve from hunger. And you don't have to do PS all day long in order to survive. Okay, that was a little this question, but I just wanted to show it to you. Take a look at it, read the material, and you should be fine. Okay, that's all for today about my tweets, and now I'll go over the charts with you. So my first one is the weekly Elliott wave look, and here I hope that wave 2 is soon over and that we will start wave 3. The happening is next May, and I hope that it coincides with wave 3, with the top of wave 3. We'll see if that happens. Here we have the weekly chart, and the weekly chart best case scenario, that was the C low, and we start wave 3 now. I don't know if that's the case, but we will see. Here we have one more, we have the do-day chart of Elliott wave, and the best case scenario is WX, Y, X, Z, and now we have 1, 2, 3. And if that's a 1, 2, 3, we did get the low of wave 2 here, and now we price is pumping, which is nice. So maybe we started wave 3 of wave 3. So if that's the C or Z, then we could be in an impulsive wave now. I'm not sure if that's the case, but I hope it is. Anyways, we'll talk about when I will be more confident in this being the bottom and we started wave 3 with my next indicator. Before that, I have here the one-day chart, and that looks like the first one is a zigzag. The second one was close to an irregular, and if it's a zigzag irregular, then we should get a flat, but the X wave does not look at all like an X wave, so there's nothing I can do. Anyways, it still looks flat, so I keep it for now. Here we have our, here you see us jumping, and that's quite nice, but it is too soon, a little too soon for me, because I actually wanted to have to be this wave C, ABC here up, and then ABC down, and the C ending here. And if that's a C wave, it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But now 4 went too high. So what can I do in best case scenario? The best case scenario, I can say that that was a 1, 2. Then we had 3, 4. And now we have already had wave 5. In this case, this is C. And we are starting wave 5, which could be the case because it looks impulsive. This is looks the last 4 hours looked impulsive, so that's nice. And now best case scenario is that that is C, and then you get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Something like that. Okay, and that would be the best scenario. I do not know if that happens, but it could, because it looks impulsive. That last candle, the candle we are on right now, looks impulsive. So that's promising. It is promising. No idea if it happens, but we'll see. We'll find out together. Here the same thing on the hourly chart. So let's also say that that is a 1. So I'll make it fit. I have no idea. Nobody has an idea. Once it's more than a simple correction, nobody has an idea where it stopped according to Elliott wave. So I me no more than other traders. We have to wait. The only thing I know is that once the correction stops, we can go higher again. I mean, once the correcting move is over, we'll get an impulsive move. That's the only thing I know. It always is like this. I don't know. And the impulsive moves should be higher than And then 3,122 or 3,585, depending on where wave 1 started. I'm not sure, so I put it both levels. But wave 2 should end somewhere here. It could end here. It would be perfect. If it ended on that candle that we are looking at right now, it is perfect. It is perfect. I don't know if it happens, but it could be the case. So that's quite bullish. And this candle looks promising. So here the same thing. Best case scenario, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm not going to draw that because I just did it on the 4-hour chart. And now we look at my new indicator. So I really like that indicator. It's an, you'll find it here. It's a Pitchan fan. No, sorry, how do you say that? Pitch fan. It's a pitch fan. Sorry for me. It's a pitch fan. And if you use that indicator, you use a low and a high. First low, you take a low, and then you lose a second low and a second high. And then you get that pitch fan indicator, which is mostly very interesting. And it gives you some trend lines. And as you can see, and that trend line very, very nicely helped hold the price. Then you went out of it. And once you exit the last trend line, the bull market was over, and then you had a correction. So you went down to the first trend line, and then you retested the next trend line, which is again the trend line here. And that's a very relevant trend line. So I think that trend line, there's a very high chance, according to me, how much I would like to give it 80%, but maybe a bit optimistic. I should put it 70 or 60% because who knows what happens. But I think there's an 80% because look how long it hold. It hold over years. So and here again, it was perfectly gave us the bottom, and now we are retesting that same trend line again, and I'm expecting it to hold. Right now it's at 6,219, so I expect not 6,219 to hold. Next week that will be a little higher. So so I'm expecting this trend line to hold, and normally the price doesn't even test it. It stops be higher than it. So here it stopped higher than it, and here also in the next two, those two candles did the job. So according to me, that could be the case. That trend line could be holding price up, and we could follow it into the halvening and beyond, which would be very nice. Let's see how high we get. We get very soon to 15, 20K and so on. So that trend line, let's pray for it holding the price, because as long as it goes, price will move up from here. And there's a good chance, according to me. As I told you, I would like to give it an 80% chance. Now the same indicator, but I look at the downtrend line, and as you can see, so I took the extreme, and then I took two more extremes, and I put the trend line. And once we exit, once we had a candle opening and close above it, we jumped. I mean, price went from 3K to 14K, and I expect the same thing to happen here. So what I expect is that price, once we have a candle opening closing above the high of the last trend line, the blue one, once we close higher than that, which here is 7,880, once we have a candle that closes above that that trend line, I expect us to go much higher, to easily take out all-time highs. First, that high at 14K and then all-time highs at 20K. And I haven't done it, but I'll show you how I'll do it if I have to do it. So let's take that indicator and use it on the last bear market. So now I have to take a low. This one will do, and this one as a high. So I showed you just how to use it. Well, actually, the next one would be more interesting. So let's use the next one. Here, take again a low and a high. So it's perfect. Not the first, not the second, but it's the third low and high. Both of them look great. And it tells me that once we break the upper trend line, which we did here, price stopped here. It retested it, and that's very nice. It's very nice to retest trend lines, important trend lines. Here we went higher, then we retested it, but did not close below it, and we go higher. So when did I know that we go, that the correction is over? I knew it here. Once we had a candle that closed above that trend line. And that's exactly what I'm looking. Then we retested it, fine, great. I mean, that's the best moment to go along when you retest the trend line. Now, let's go to what's happening now. So I want a candle to open and close and then retest it. If we could do that here at 7.8, it would be perfect and very soon. And that could be nice if that happens. That could be very nice. Okay, that was the most important stuff about my TA. Now I'll take a look at the other indicators, but if you're tired and if you had enough in it, you can exit now. If you want to go and follow me until the end, then I'll take a look at the rest of the indicators that I normally look at, just to give you a feeling about what the market is doing right now. So let's jump into that. It should be quite short because I'll only tell you if it's positive or negative. So here we have an stock to flow model. This one is not too important right now because it's giving a mistake. But the next stock to flow model is better. And here stock to flow is pointing up, which is very nice. And price should be following. So that's positive. To me, that's positive. And here you have the halving, which is an important date. And after that, price should be also picking up. TD sequential gave you a 2 below a 1. And of course, that is when tone goes short. And that is exactly when the price starts rolling. Sometimes it does that. Anyways, that's negative according to TD sequential. Here we have some moving averages, and we had a depth cross here, and we having a depth cross on that candle, so that this is negative. Here we had a depth cross on the last candle, which is negative, and we are below every candle, which is also negative. Here we had the best buying opportunity, but you are very close to that level, so this should be a great level to buy. On this one, we are negative. Here we are still, here we had a golden cross, whatever cross that is, but we're still waiting for a T, for a K being higher than a T. So that could be happening soon if price keeps rallying. Here is still negative. Would be nice to get a golden cross, because once that happens, we could be having a nice bull market, wave 3. Here you see depth cross, and right now we still don't have a golden cross, but if price keeps at that level or even goes higher, we should get it quite soon. Same thing here. This one is still negative. Would be very nice to get a golden cross. So momentum is not looking horrible, but is not positive either right now. Would be nice if we go positive on momentum. Here we are still negative for now, and it says that what happened with price, it did not do much for the outlook for now. Here we are positive on the first indicator. We are still positive, still in a bull market. And second indicator, we are positive. It's compact, and the last two ones are flat, but this one is negative, and the last one is flat. Since we are not trading up for now, I can give it a positive. Here we are very low, and we tested the lower trend line. So now it would be very nice if we test the middle trend line, break it, and then test the upper trend line, Bollinger Band. Here we are negative according to me because we are under the right moving average. I would like to have us above it. That's MACD, and MACD is negative for now. Here we are, the first indicator is picking up, so that's positive. I would give it a positive. We exit oversold, so now let's hope we go into our bot territorium. Here we are still flat, not positive. It's stochastic. And the last one is positive, but the second one is not following for now. Here we are negative on the first one, and the second one is green, which is good, but we are still pointing down, which is negative. Here we had a bullish harami, which is a positive candle. Let's hope it does something good for our price. Here we are below the middle band, which is negative to me. Here everything is red, so that's all negative. Here we are negative too, according to the stop and reverse. Here we are negative. This could be the bottom, and let's hope it holds. It could be, according to fractal, and I think that's an OXO. Yes, it's negative. Let's hope it will go soon positive. Here we went very low twice, and now we are still quite low. So let's hope that picks up. First one is negative. Second one is negative. Here we are positive on the first one, positive on the second one. On the last one, we are flat. Let's hope we be positive soon on that one. Once we are positive, we could be positive for a long period of time. Here trend is down, and here we are negative. So there's still a lot of negative stuff, as you can see. First one is still positive, but well, it's still positive. Second one is negative, third negative, fourth negative, and last one negative. Here we are quite negative on the first one. We are quite low on the next one. It's an RSE. Yes. Here we are negative on that RSE too. Here we're positive. Here's something positive. Let's hope that holds and we don't go into negative territorium again. And here we are quite low. Quite low. It's a volume or whatever it is, but it's low. First one is negative, second one is negative, third one is negative, and last one is flat. First one negative, second one negative, third negative, fourth negative, and fifth negative. Here we went very low. We went below that red moving average, which is not good, and we opened and closed for now below that moving average, which is a break of that moving average, which is negative. That one is, and the indicator below that is still negative. Let's hope we manage to close above that moving average, because I don't want to lose it. If not, it's resistance. Negative first, negative second, negative third, and very low on the last one. I would like us to get some good momentum on the last one very soon. This one is positive and the second one is negative. Here we are quite low, and here we are negative, low. Here we are positive, but pointing down, which is negative. Here we're negative, and the last one is low. The first one negative, second one there's some green momentum, but not very positive for now, because it's below 0. Here we're negative, negative, and negative on the last three. First one is negative, second one negative, third one negative. Here we had candles opening and down and closing below that trend line, which is a break of that trend line, which is negative. We have to reconquer it soon. If not, that's not good at all. Negative here, and the last one, no indication. That looks horrific. A lot of negative candles, one next to the other. I don't like it at all. I want us to be above the green cloud very soon, because if not, there's no bull market anymore, according to that indicator. Here we're negative. Here we're negative. I'm okay. It was quite long, my tweets and the TA, so I'm a bit tired, so I want to go over it soon. Here I expect 4,500 to hold in every case, and you have a great support at 5.7. Here we're negative. Market is negative and price is pulling up. People are short and price is pulling up. So that's positive. Here we have no indication of a bottom. I would really like to see that, just as I did here. I'm expecting here 3,414 to hold in every case, whatever happens. Here we are positive. Here we are still negative. Not good. Here we are for now below the middle the middle band, which is still negative. Nothing to say about that indicator, because there's no gap to talk about. Here we are very low, and we test the lower band a lot of times. So now let's test the middle band, the two middle bands again, and then the higher one, which would be nice. Here we are still, what is happening here now? Okay, so that's new information. So we have a downtrend, as we did here. I would like to get a long signal now and then have a price moving up. And here we have the halving put into it. So, but the down signal is not good, because if we keep on going down, we could go lower. But anyways, I hope that it's a symmetry to the last bull market, and that we get a low here and then move higher. But that's new information. Here we are negative, 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 and the last one is quite negative too. Sell signal negative. Here we are low, which could be a good opportunity to go long. And anyways, we haven't updated this one. So let's update that one and see if we still have the sell signal or if it fades away. I need to wait for my chart to update. I'll drink while waiting, and then we'll go over the last indicators so that my TA is over. Even with fiber optics, it's quite long to reload a chart. It's not instant. So there's a sell on the last candle, but not on the current candle. But there was a sell on the last candle. And your low on the last indicator, which is to me an indication to go long in a bull market. Here we are holding for now those moving averages because it did not open and close below it. If it opens and closes below it, next target would be 5.5 according to that indicator, and we are negative on last indicator. So let's hope we don't lose that trend line. Here we are very low into the cloud, which to me is not good for a bull market. Normally that does not happen. And it's quite alarming. Here we have one trend line that I really like on that indicator. It's my indicator who puts it. And we are holding it, which is great. UP. And there's also a point, which I don't know what it means, but it looks relevant. Anyways, I hope that that trend line keeps holding us up and that price follows. But I expect it to do it because it's an important trend line. It worked great here and it's working again here. So that's perfect. Here we have those candles. So that trend line is resistance. We need to go above it, have a candle opening and closing above it. Then I would be more confident in that trend line. For now, it is resistance, which is not good. Here we are quite low. Let's see if we can conquer the middle Bollinger Band since we tested the lower band. It's maybe not a Bollinger Band, but the lower band moving average or whatever there is a couple of times. Now let's test the middle one and then head to the upper one. Here it shows you simply that we are still bullish. If you look at Bitcoin since its beginning, and those blue trend lines should hold and price should never go below it. Here we have two positive indications. We tested the lower the band a couple of times, but it's still bullish. We're still above it, which is nice. That was the best, when we were below it was the best moment to buy, to go long. But for now, it says that the bull market has started. And I think that indicator is doing a good job in telling us that. Here we are holding on that trend line for now, which is good. If that breaks, we have just one left at 5.5K. Be aware of that. Here we are, that trend line was lost, and now it's resistance. We need to conquer it again. If we do not, we have support at 5.5K again. 5.5K shows up quite a lot of times. So if we cannot manage to go up, we could be testing 5.5K. And I would still expect wave 3, according to A8 wave, to start. Here we are right now on the blue moving average. For now, it is holding because we have not got candle opening below that moving average, opening and closing below that moving average. So for now it's holding, and I would like us to reconquer the other moving average soon. We are negative on the last indicator. We are low on that one. We are pointing down on this one, and we are negative on the first one. So that's not very positive looking. Here we're negative on every indicator. Here we are below the middle band, which is negative to me. I really would like us to manage to go above it and test the higher one. Here we are negative because we're below the middle band, and I need to update that one. Sorry guys, but I need to update that one because I don't have the right information. Here we go. So I'll update it. And then we move on to the last indicators. There are not much left. So if you managed to stick with me until now, congrats. That's a nice job. You certainly know more about Bitcoin and our economic system, and you learned that there's something else called a resource-based economy, and that it is the solution to all our problems. So you made a lot of progress in a short period of time, and you know more about Bitcoin right now, which should make you feel more comfortable in holding a position, which is the case. That's what my TA tells me. If my TA told me something else, I would tell you. I'm not pumping any bugs, but just telling you what I see. So that's the updated chart. We can move on now. Here we are negative and we are flat on the moving average. That I want us to be higher than that moving average very soon, because in a bull market you are above it, and that's at 13K, and we should be above that very soon. Here the same thing, and it's pointing down, which is less good. We should be above 9K very soon, because we should be above that moving average in a bull market. Oh, I need to update that chart too. Sorry, guys. But what must be done, must be done. There's nothing I can do. I need to have the stuff updated. If TradingView stops actualizing my chart, I have to actualize them manually. That's my job. That's what I do. Okay. I mean, I do this for a living, so it's not a joke to me. Okay. And if you don't like what I do, then watch somebody like Tone Ways. He only looks at one indicators, and for him 3K is not the bottom, and 40K was a great opportunity to go long. I do not follow in anymore because I cannot bear so much bad calls all the time. But if you want to follow him, follow him. Okay? I don't care. If you don't want to listen to what I have to say, don't listen to it. Anyways, that was just a little rant for me, because I wanted to update the chart. Now that we have done that, let's go to the next one. Here, to me, both of the blue ones are positive, and I expect some positive momentum following, which would be great. We are at 7.2, which is impulsive, and that's great. That's great. That's great. Bitcoin keep rallying, and we could start wave 3, which would be just fantastic, because I'm waiting for it for such a long period of time right now. Here, that moving average is holding, and it's still positive, which tells me that we are not in a bear. When it was red, it was the best moment to, and you were below that moving average, it was the best moment to buy, to go long. But now you are still very short, close to that price target. So if you did not go long here, now it's a great opportunity, according to me, to go long. Remember, there's a disclaimer. So there's a risk involved in what I'm telling you. But I like what I'm seeing right now. Then you make up your mind. But why do I like it? Because of Elliott Wave and because of the pitch fun indicator, my new pitch fun indicator. Well, that's not really positive, but still it holds price, and it tells me that we should not go any lower, the pitch fun indicator. So yes, both of them are great. Here we had some candles opening and closing below that, so we lost that moving average. Right now it's resistance, but once we are above it, it will be support, and we could price expect to go long, to go higher. We are negative on that one, because below that middle band, we did not test the lower one, but I don't expect us to do it. We tested it here, and during the last bear market, I don't expect to test it again here. I want us to reconquer the middle one, and then then work the higher one up. Here we are quite low, which is great to go long. Here we are negative on that indicator. Here we are holding those the last moving averages, but we should conquer them all and be above 8-1 very soon. We are negative on the first indicator, and the two other ones look negative. Here was a great moment to go long. Right now, price looks like it's picking up, which is nice, and we are still negative on the last one. Huh? We are negative on that one. We lost that moving average. We should reconquer it. Here we are negative. And the last one is negative. I think that's ADX. Tether is not falling. So people are not exiting the market, which is great. Let's look at the crypto fear index. I wait for it to reload. Okay, we are still in fear, but not extreme fear. Quite fearish. Anyways, it does not matter. It's fear. Here, and trend is for now not picking up, and we have not managed to go above 100. I'm expecting us to go much higher in during wave 3, but for now we are at 75 on Google Trends. And that was all. So my congrats to you. I don't have much followers who stick with me until the end, but it was quite fun. I like talking about my tweets. I think I'll do that again. And we also look again at the charts as soon as price has moved again, has moved a bit, and I'll find the time to make a new market update videos. I don't do those every day because from one day to the next, there's not much changing, so there's not much to talk about. But from time to time, I like taking a look with you at my charts instead of doing it on my own. When I do it on my own, I'm much faster. But I still like talking about it and hanging out with you. And once I have more followers, maybe then I'll give it a try to the chart. And if the chart behaves, then the chart keeps. Then I put the chart on every time. But for now, I don't have enough followers, so I can do that. But maybe in the future we'll do it. Anyways, it was fun hanging out with you guys. Thanks for watching, and see you soon. And don't forget following me on my YouTube and on my Twitter. Bye bye.